She can't be seen. Good morning and welcome to our celebration of Guru Purnima. We always celebrate Guru Purnima on the Sunday closest to the actual day, but happily today, Sunday, is Guru Purnima this year. So an extra special day for us. The program for this morning will be some chanting by the Sri Sharada Mutt nuns here in Sydney. That will be followed by a talk by me, short talk, then a talk by Prabhajika Gayatri Pranaji, and then we'll listen to a guided meditation by revered Prabhajika Ajay Prana Mataji. So now we'll invite the Sri Sharada Mutt nuns to do some Vedic chanting.
Ananda Varidhi Shri Guru Charanam Ananda Varidhi Shri Guru Charanam Atmodipakam Shri Guru Charanam Veda Swarupam Shri Guru Charanam Vedatitam Shri Guru Charanam Tapatrayahara Shri Guru Charanam Tarakarupam Shri Guru Charanam Papaharakam Shri Guru Charanam Punyatirtham Shri Guru Charanam Samsaranala Shamanakarakam Sahajananda Sukha Sattva Pradayakam Ajnanatimire Yugaladipam Antasthita Shri Sachidanandam Guru hi Mata Pita hi Guru Guru hi Bandhu Sakha hi Guru Guru hi Daivam Guru hi Sarvam Guru hi Satyam, Guru hi Nityam, Namami Satatam, Shri Guru Devam, Bhajami Satatam, Shri Guru Devam, Smarami Satatam, Shri Guru Devam, Sharanam Sharanam, Shri Guru Devam, Namami Satatam Shri Guru Charanam Bhajami Satatam Shri Guru Charanam Smarami Satatam Shri Guru Charanam Sharanam Sharanam Shri Guru Charanam Sharanam Sharanam Shri Guru Charanam Sharanam Sharanam Shri Guru Charanam.
There is the saying, when the disciple is ready, the Guru will appear. I took heart when I first read that in the late 1970s. Back then, I had thrown myself into yoga and meditation. I was devouring books on spirituality and spiritual teachers, and I was urgently seeking the company of like-minded souls and some spiritual guidance. I needed a guru, but where does one find a spiritual guide, a genuine one, not some gimmicky sectarian one, but an authentic one, a real one? In a hard-nosed city like Sydney, more intent on gaining water views than spiritual ones, I didn't like my chances. But a few years later, in spite of my doubts, the Guru did appear, emerging from a plane freshly arrived from India. On a rainy Sydney autumn day in 1982, I first met the late revered Prabhajika Ajay Pranamataji, who was the vice president of Sri Sharada Mata Ramakrishna Sharada Mission. Some months later, I had become her disciple. Now, haven't you noticed that almost without exception, all your deepest, sincerest wishes and desires are ultimately fulfilled, that all your prayers will be answered? All well and good, but they often come with a twist. The granting of my desire to have a real spiritual teacher also came with a twist. Real gurus, I soon discovered, expect real results from their closest disciples. They want to see real spiritual progress in their disciples. Also, it soon became apparent that there was much of my pre-disciple life that was at odds with my new spiritual post-secular one. So began an unavoidable process of struggles and setbacks and spiritual growth and maturing. Some disciples may wish that they could swap sides, give up the hard slog of the struggling disciple and jump into the shoes of the calm, commanding guru. Absolute folly. I saw firsthand what a terrible responsibility it is to be a real guru. Real gurus take on the suffering of their disciples. When the disciple is in distress, they turn to the guru. They don't just come to the guru for spiritual advice, they come to the guru with all manner of troubles and problems. The guru absorbs their sorrow and pain, clears the confusion, and injects the disciple with clarity and positive energy. The disciples, having unburdened themselves, head off, relieved and invigorated, ready to face their problems with renewed courage. The guru, on the other hand, is left to digest all that negative energy. That is one of the reasons why real gurus are so particular about their spiritual disciplines. These disciplines give them great powers of insight and the ability to digest the problems of the world because they have ready access to that boundless spiritual energy within us all. While this is the day when the greatest honor is reserved for our spiritual teachers, let's not forget that we're surrounded by teachers in many forms. If we're perceptive enough, if we're humble enough, we will find every day and everywhere countless teachers, the Upa-gurus. Upa-guru is anybody or anything that helps us along the way. We can learn so much even from our enemies. It's been said that we should spend some time each day with those younger than us, especially children, and those older than us. Among them both, we find these Upa-gurus. Children remind us of when life was a magical, more interconnected place, full of energy and endless possibilities, a time when the line between the everyday world and the world of imagination were blurred. Just watch a child when they enter a large, uncluttered room. They dance and jump and run, so joyous to be free of obstruction. The limitless space calls to them. They are barely aware of its edges. Perhaps they're reminded of that formless, limitless place they recently emerged from, that place we all inhabit between lives. On the other hand, we have much to gain spending time with those older than us, an opportunity to tap into the clarity and calm of those who have gone beyond the restless, muddled emotions of youth and the unrelenting drive of middle age. A recent BBC program highlighted an initiative in Zimbabwe that draws on the wisdom of these elders. It's called the Friendship Bench. Dr. Dixon Chibanda, a Zimbabwean psychiatrist, was shocked into coming up with a solution to dealing with widespread depression in that country after the suicide of one of his patients who couldn't afford the $15 bus fare to come for an appointment. Zimbabweans have many reasons to be depressed and suicidal after several decades of trauma and atrocities. In a country of 16 million, there are only 12 psychiatrists and very few psychologists. To meet this terrible need, Dr. Chibanda came up with an unlikely solution: grandmothers. In an audacious plan, he gathered together grandmothers, community volunteers who had no experience in mental health counseling, in fact, had minimal education. He taught them the basics of cognitive therapy, and they showed him how they could bring together a mix of local knowledge and wisdom and their own experiences in life to provide non-technical guidance, speaking the language of their patients. These grandmothers were providing a free intervention, helping to head off all manner of problems. Truly complex cases and disorders could be referred to the doctors. Otherwise, the granny's common sense and friendly ear was enough for many. Now the friendship bench concept has spread to many other countries, even, not surprisingly, to New York. The concept has broadened to include grandpas too, and younger mentors. Upagurus are not limited to the human world. The whole of creation is brimming with lessons if we have the eyes to see. The ancient sages in their cave and forest homes were keen observers of nature, giving rise to many picturesque analogies. We read in the scriptures how God is like a spider, creating a web world out of itself, maintaining it, and later taking the whole web creation back into itself again. A yogi is compared to the tortoise, one who is able to withdraw their senses from sense objects, as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell. We're told that as a fish lives in water yet is different from it, so the Atman, our soul, lives in the body but is different from it. We read of how desire for sense objects is like a cloud of wild bees swarming around a tree. The natural forces also have much to teach. During my surfboard riding days, I learned a lot from that massive Upaguru, Mother Ocean. To conclude, I'll give one example of a life lesson that Mother Ocean taught me. As your surfboard riding skills improve, you're able to venture out into bigger and bigger waves. But Mother Ocean, like life itself, can be capricious. Suddenly, a set of waves twice as big will appear, rippling on the horizon. A tremendous force is approaching you. Rising walls of water, silently gliding, one after another, will soon come crashing down on you. The instinctive reaction would be to turn around and desperately paddle towards shore, but there is no escape. The waves will suck you back towards them, and you will end up in the zone of maximum impact. Then, like a huge washing machine, they will tumble and pound you, scraping you along the sandy bottom. But experienced surfers know you only have one choice. With all your energy, you must paddle towards the waves, meet them head on, and before they hit you, you literally bow your head and duck dive underneath them to minimize the impact. So it is in life. If we try to turn our back on problems, they will come after us, building in power. So just like the experienced surfers, we need to face the problems of life head on. Now I'll call on Prabhajika Gajapanaji to give her talk.
Om अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Salutations to the Guru who has made it possible to realize Him, by whom this entire universe of movable and immovable objects is pervaded. Often we hear the question, can't we lead a spiritual life without a guru? There are books, there are all the instructions now on the internet. Can't we just read them and using our intellect and reasoning lead a spiritual life? Maybe we may be able to make some progress, but those who really want to take spiritual path seriously, leading to realization, eternal peace and happiness, definitely need a guru. We have teachers, guides, coaches, trainers in all fields of secular life in order to achieve success, be it education, sports, or arts. Nobody planned to become a doctor just by reading books, or a efficient athlete or violinist just by reading the notes or reading how to practice. Spiritual goal being the highest goal to be attained in human life, a spiritual guide is absolutely necessary. Swami Brahmananda says, the path of spirituality is hard to follow. No matter how clever or how intelligent a man may be, without the aid of an illumined guide, he is sure to stumble on the way. Studying books and listening to lectures, one develops intellectually, but not spiritually. We can become a highly intelligent scholar, a professor, by studying all this. But a scholar in Vedanta may not be or need not be highly advanced in spiritual life. That is why often we see people speaking very proficiently, eloquently, highly about spiritual matters, but in their life we see that they fail to put those teachings into practice. They fail miserably. So Swami Vivekananda says, it is not true that a high order of intellectual development always goes hand in hand with a proportionate development on the spiritual side of man. This flame of spiritual awakening in the seeker can be lighted only from the spiritual light of a teacher, not from books. The teacher must possess the power of transmitting the spiritual impulse, and the student must be fit to receive it. The Katha Upanishad says, Ascharyo Vakta Kushalosya Labdha. Wonderful is the teacher, and equally talented is this disciple. Then spiritual progress is easy. What happens in modern times is that after doing spiritual practices for some time, a few months or years, and studying a few scriptures, people think that they are well advanced and they could lead others. Swami Vidyatmananda, an American monk of the Ramakrishna order, says, Americans go to India, stay in some ashrama for 6 months, and come back with, within inverted commas, the degree of a Swami, and set themselves up as gurus. So is it so easy? He was comparing actually this with the 10-year training that is given to the in the Ramakrishna order. About such gurus, the Mundaka Upanishad says, Avidyayam andare vartamana swayam dhira pandidam manyamanaha janghanyamana pariyanti mudha andhenaiva niyamana yathandhaha. Fools dwelling in darkness, wise in their own conceit, and puffed up with vain knowledge, go round and round, staggering to and fro, like blind man leading the blind. Sri Ramakrishna repeatedly said that one can assume the role of a guru only if one has the command, the authority from God. And none can resist or stop a teacher with such divine authority. We see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, towards the end, when he was very sick in Kosipu, he wrote on a piece of paper because he could not even speak. He wrote on a piece of paper, Narendra will teach people. So here, Narendra, the future Swami Vivekananda, was given a written or command. And the American newspapers described Swamiji after the Parliament of Religions as an orator with divine right. How are we to know a genuine guru from fake? There are many fake gurus are there. The scriptures mention some qualities that we have to look for in a guru. The first one is a guru is well versed in the spirit of the scriptures, has got insight into the true teachings of the sacred text. To quote Swami Vivekananda, it is the knowledge of the spirit of the scriptures alone that characterizes a true religious teacher. If we are carried away by the words, the force of the words, then we lose the spirit of the text. According to Shankaracharya, disputations and arguments about the words and phrases are for the enjoyment of scholars. They are not helpful on the spiritual path. The second qualification to be looked for in a guru is sinlessness. The guru must be perfectly pure. Only then will his words come to have value. Only then will he be a true transmitter of spirituality. And where does the purity come from? This purity comes from dispassion, and dispassion comes from self-control. So a guru with absolute purity and self-control gets a special power to talk about God and spiritual life. So Swamiji says, we must first see what he is, what the guru is, and then what he says. So first look at the life of the guru before simply following his teachings. And we see that in the life of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, as Narendra, he tested his guru. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that he cannot touch any metal. If he touch metal, he gets pain, his hands get numb. But young Narendra, the skeptic, could not believe that. So it's exaggeration. So one day when Sri Ramakrishna was not in the room, he quietly went and kept a coin under the mattress. And then went outside the room and waited. Sri Ramakrishna came back, and as his habit, he went and sat on the small cot where he usually used to sit. And the moment he sat on the cot, he jumped up as though he was stung by a scorpion. And he asked his attendant, look around, what is it? Is there some insect there? They took the sheet off, lifted the mattress. Then they found a coin underneath. Sri Ramakrishna said, that's it. And then he looked around and found Narendra standing outside the room. He understood who had kept the coin. So Narendra, from personal experience, Swamiji could say, first see what the guru is, and then listen to what he says. The third characteristics of the guru must be, we had to look for is, what is his motive? There should not be any ulterior motive. The guru should not be imparting instructions for the sake of name, fame, wealth, or power. It must come out of pure love for mankind. He should be doing good to others unasked, like the spring infusing new life into the nature. The Vivek Chodamani of Shankaracharya says, Ahetuka Daya Sindhu, the Guru is a boundless ocean of motiveless mercy, mercy without any motive. And when one really thirsts after spiritual life, one is sure to meet the person who is to be the spiritual guide, the Guru. If if you say that, oh, you're really keen to have a Guru, but not able to find one, that means your earnestness is not enough. You are not really don't thirst for the spiritual life. So Swamiji says it is a mysterious law of nature that as soon as the field is ready, the seed must come. As soon as the soul wants religion, the transmitter of religious force must come. The seeking sinner meeteth the seeking Savior. When the power that attracts the receiving soul is full and ripe, the power that answers to that must come. In order to benefit from the help of the Guru, the student should have certain qualifications. So we also must be ready to get the benefit from the Guru's teachings. The first one is sincerity of purpose. The student should want nothing but the truth. Why do you take to spiritual life? What is the reason? Sincerity of purpose. Is it really seeking God, or for certain psychic powers, or even to as a fad? That's one of the important qualities. Then steadiness in spiritual disciplines. Should be ready to do the spiritual practices steadily, not doing for a few days and then stopping, or starting and fits and bits. No, that won't do. Must be steady in our spiritual practices. Then should have a strong and healthy willpower. Spiritual life is not a smooth path. Will be always obstacles and difficulties will be there. Should be able to persevere. So should have a healthy willpower. Whatever be the obstacles, I will continue with my practices. That willpower should be there. And finally, the student must be full of hope and fervor, not just a momentary enthusiasm, but with fervor should go on practicing. We often mistakenly speak of choosing our Guru, but it's a wrong idea, because we don't choose our Guru. Just as we don't choose our parents are chosen for us, our Guru is chosen for us. His Guru is already decided for us. When Swami Vivekananda came back from the West, a lot of people were attracted by his personality, and so one young man called Surendranath Sen, he used to come to Swamiji, and he wanted to take spiritual initiation from Swami Vivekananda, requested him. Swamiji was not very keen, but he persisted. He followed Swamiji and kept on requesting him to be accepted as a disciple. And after about 3 years, Swamiji said, all right. And a day was fixed along with some other people. He was to have the initiation. So one by one, they were called. And when his turn came, he went inside and sat on the seat. And then Swamiji said, the master has told me that I am not your Guru. Your Guru will be a person much greater. This was a shock for this young man. He had been waiting for this moment to get initiation from Swami Vivekananda, all these years trying, and then he's saying, no, it's not going to get from him. And who can be greater than Swami Vivekananda? Swami Vivekananda, who is looked upon as Shiva himself. Then he was so disheartened. He thought, no, he's not fit enough, so he may not be having spiritual initiation. Then after a few years, one day he completely forgot about all these things, and he didn't try to take initiation from anybody else. One day he had a dream. In his dream, a goddess, glorious, shining, luminous goddess appeared in the dream and told him, you take this mantra. And he was saying, who are you? She said, I am Saraswati. Then his question, what will I do with this mantra? What will I gain by that? Oh, you will become a kavi. Kavi has got two meanings. Kavi can be a poet or a knower of the spiritual truth. So he took it as a first meaning, very sarcastically said, why should I become a poet? I don't want to become a poet. Then the goddess explained, no, you will realize the ultimate truth. And she even showed how to repeat the mantra, how to count on the fingers. The dream was very vivid, but when he woke up, still he remembered that, but he didn't do. He was not going to take initiations. He is not going to accept a guru who has come in the dream. No. Years passed. Then one day he went to Jayarambati with a disciple of Swami Vivekananda, Sharachandra Chakravarti, and there met Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi. And Mother said, tomorrow you get ready for initiation. So he didn't say no at that time, but he hadn't any idea of taking initiation. But still, when Mother asked, he went there ready for that. And when Mother gave him the mantra, suddenly it flashed on his mind that this is the mantra he had received in his dream. And he looked at Holy Mother, and suddenly he saw that goddess that he appeared in the dream emerging from Holy Mother and again merging into her. So one moment he is seeing Holy Mother, next moment he is seeing the goddess that he had seen in the dream. Then Mother said, it's the same, it tallies with that, isn't it? And so he had a glimpse into the highest truth. That's why we say we don't choose the guru. He wanted to choose Swami Vivekananda has his guru, but his guru was already chosen. We don't choose our guru. Guru is chosen for us. All we have to do is make ourselves deserving for the grace of the guru. And how do we do that? By ethical living and doing some spiritual practices. For the seed to sprout and grow well, the soil had to be well cultivated. If the soil is not cultivated and the conditions are not favorable, the seed won't sprout and grow. So the mind has to be prepared, and only then the spiritual seed will sprout and grow and bear fruit, otherwise not. And we may wonder, what does the guru do for us? The guru confers freedom from bondage. The attachment to the world and its pleasures, and then emotions like lust, anger, greed, and the greatest obstacle, egoism, the feeling of I and mine, all these are bondages that bind us down, and we forget our real true nature. that we are divine, the Guru reminds us of our real nature, awakens us from the sleep of ignorance, and shows us the path to freedom. There's the famous story of oft-quoted story that Sri Ramakrishna speaks about the tiger and the sheep. The tiger, born among the sheep, grew up among the sheep, thought itself as a sheep, bleated like a sheep, ate grass, and grew into a huge tiger. And then one day, another tiger came and saw the sheep tiger running away, bleating like sheep. It caught hold of that, took it to the water, and pointed to the face. Look, you are not a sheep, you are a tiger. And thrust some meat into the mouth, eat it, and then roar like me. Suddenly it realized, oh, I am not a sheep. The Guru awakens the spiritual nature. At present, we think that we are limited human beings, but Guru will awaken us to the real nature, of our true nature, that we are divine, we are the Atman. Vedanta says that self-realization comes from Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Hearing about the great truths, reflecting on that, and meditating on it. So the first step, Shravanam, listening. The hearing should be from a true Guru, a Sadguru. Now, who is a Sadguru? Swamiji says, Sadguru is one on whom the spiritual power has descended by a Guru Parambara, or an unbroken chain of discipleship. So Sadguru belongs to a Guru Parambara, unbroken chain of teacher, disciple line. So in the Ramakrishna order, we have that Guru Parambara. Whoever be our Guru, we have, if you trace, goes to Sri Ramakrishna, and then Totapuri goes back to Shankaracharya, and from Shankaracharya leads further up to Vyasa, sage Vyasa, and then up to God himself. So that's a Guru Paramara. We have got this lineage. And a Guru who comes from the Guru Parambara is a Sadguru. And this spiritual power is transmitted through the mantra. Such a teacher is an enlightened person, or one who is well advanced on the spiritual path. And only such a teacher or such a Guru can know the dangers and difficulties faced by the disciple and lead him out of it. To give an example of that, Swami Virajananda was the disciple of Holy Mother, and he took his sannyas from Swami Vivekananda. He was in the Mayavati Advaita Ashrama, but then he used to spend a lot of time in doing spiritual practices in Shyamlatal. At one stage, he used to meditate 20 hours a day. After few months, he developed a headache. The headache was so severe that he could not concentrate anymore. Hearing about his difficulty, the authorities asked him to come down to Calcutta, the headquarters, in Belur, and they organized treatment for him, all types of treatment, allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, Kaviraja, everything was done. Nothing of any effect. And the Swamis, the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, were all there at that time, except Swamiji and Swami Niranjanananda. All the rest were there. Many of them were in Velumat at that time, but nobody could help him in this predicament. Then he decided, well, I had to live with this. Nothing, when no treatment is available possible. So let me go back. But before going back to Mayavati, he decided to go to Jairambati and offer up his pranams to Holy Mother. So he went to Jairambati, and as soon as he saluted at her feet, the first question Holy Mother asked was, where do you meditate? Where do you concentrate? He said he concentrated between the eyebrows. And straight away Mother said, my child, that's the last stage. Don't do that. Meditate on your heart. Concentrate on your heart. Only then he told about his difficulty, headache, and how the doctors has failed. She said, you will be all right. And following her instructions, he started meditating on the heart center. And after a few days, his headache just disappeared. So it is the Sadguru, the teacher, who has realized only such a person can understand the difficulties and dangers there are on the spiritual path. That is why often the Guru is referred to as Bhavaroga Vaidya, the physician who can heal the disease of the mundane life. The Guru awakens a spiritual impulse in the disciple by the process of spiritual initiation, by imparting the mantra. It is like sowing the seed in the soil. In fact, the mantra is with a seed. We call it Bija mantra. Bija, the seed, is the mystic syllable of that particular deity. Mantra is not just a mere sound or word. Through proper repetition of the mantra, that is what we call japa, the apparently dead sound becomes living and full of power. Japa, repetition of this mantra, is a great spiritual practice. And so Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Yajnanam japa yajnosmi. Among all the sacrifice or spiritual practices, I am japa, the repetition of the sacred name. When a spiritually advanced soul repeats the mantra properly, the inherent power of the mantra Chaitanya, becomes more manifest, and mantra becomes what we call living mantra. And when such a mantra is imparted to the disciple, the power is also transmitted to the disciple. And that power of the mantra can be realized by one who leads a pure life and does the spiritual practices regularly. We are asked not to look upon the Guru as a human being. The real Guru is God Himself. Sri Ramakrishna says again and again, Satchidananda is the Guru. He says, if a human being helps you on the spiritual path, know that it is Satchidananda that has assumed that form for your sake. God alone is the Guru, but we have all different Gurus. Yes, that's true. It is God's power coming through that particular human being. We often mistake Guru as just another human being. The human Guru is just a channel. The power that comes through the Guru comes from God. Just like idols of stone or metal are symbols of God, the human Guru is just another symbol of Satchidananda. And Guru is our spiritual parent. Biological parents give us this human body, bring us to this world, while the Guru takes us to the spiritual world. So Guru is given a position higher than our parents. Some people hop from one Guru to another. Maybe because they expected some particular result and they didn't get that result with that particular Guru, so changed to another Guru. That shows that they haven't understood the ABC of spiritual life. According to Swami Vivekananda, with the teacher, our relationship is that of ancestor and descendant. The teacher is the spiritual ancestor and the disciple is the spiritual descendant. It's an eternal relationship. We cannot change it. And faith and service to the Guru is also important for spiritual progress. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena seveya. How do we learn the great truths? Go to a teacher and learn about this high truth by prostration, questioning, and service. Prostration, show humility. Questioning, to clarify, not to show off your knowledge or to test the Guru's knowledge, to clarify your doubts, question them. And sevaya, by service. Service shows humility. Service to an enlightened teacher is considered even greater than worship of God. Kabir, the saint, says, he puts a question. If Guru and God comes together in front of you, whom do you salute first? Then he gives the answer. First, I will salute the Guru, because it is Guru who is leading me to God. So, first salutation is to the Guru, only then to God. And how do we serve Guru? So, serving Guru is given great importance, but everybody cannot serve Guru. Maybe people are far away, not with the Guru all the time. How can we serve the Guru? Or again, if the Guru is no longer living in the human form, how can we serve the Guru? The greatest service that we can do to the Guru is follow the instructions the Guru has given us. So Swami Virajananda says, doing spiritual practices regularly as instructed by the Guru is the best form of service to the Guru. And with faith, if you do the spiritual practices that the Guru has asked us to do, we will surely make spiritual progress. May the eternal Guru bless us all.
Just a few announcements, and then we will conclude with listening to a guided meditation by Revered Prabhujika Jayaprana Mataji. We're happy to announce that from next Sunday, our Sunday morning talks will return to Vedanta Hall, but we will continue to broadcast live on YouTube. We know there are many of you who would like to tune in and see these talks. We will continue to do that. Also, this coming Friday night, we'll have our fortnightly spiritual evening with a discussion led by Prabhujika Gajapranaji. And please note there's no yoga class this week or next week during the New South Wales school holidays. So thank you for tuning in and joining our Guru Purnima celebration. And now we will listen to a guided meditation by Mataji. Please sit up straight, close your eyes.
Vedic Rishi speaks about his experience. Immense is thy vastness, and thy glory unparalleled. O mighty and magnificent Lord, hundreds of earths, suns, and planets within our sight or beyond our perception exist under thy command. But thou art even beyond them. All the world, existent or non-existent, born or yet unborn, are just a fraction of thy limitless being. Around thee move all the planets of the universe. The soul within us has been asleep for ages, hidden in the cooling mantle of worldly pleasures, soothed by the caresses of sensual enjoyments. The real self in us, though powerful and vibrant with energy, has been under the spell of the sleep of ignorance and forgetfulness. It's now high time that we woke up to reality, that we recognized our real essence and rose up to the heights of glory and magnificence which form our original abode. Closing our eyes, let us turn our gaze inward towards our spiritual heart. The glowing disk of the Sun of Eternity is showering his golden glory within the region of our heart. Let us open our inner eyes to that effulgence crystallized in the form of that brilliant sun which shines within, heralding a new era for us from today. The large, expansive heart of the ocean, of the elixir of spiritual light and divine love, lies within us, vast and quiet, eager to drink in the golden radiance of eternal life and grace of fearlessness pouring from the shining dome above. We try to see in the darkness of our inside that never dimming, ever shining, glorious sun of eternity shining within us. When we look closely, we can see it brilliantly showering its rays towards all directions. Imagine the lotus of the soul, at first in the form of a beautiful bud, slowly rising up from the ocean of beauty down below. The sun of eternity is shining above the ocean of existence within. The many-petaled lotus slowly opens up. See the lotus opening up, paying homage to the Lord of strength and vigor. First with folded arms, now slowly opening one by one the petals to all sides, displaying velvety surfaces of rosy charm and incomparable softness and fragrance. What a beautiful flower. The petals, when they open, we can see them soft and gentle and velvety and beautiful. The lotus opens to its fullest limit. And as we look on, a pillar of radiance descends from the brilliant dome above and slowly settles down in the center of the lotus in the form of an orange flame. It is happening in the heart. We don't have to visualize it, just see it. A beautiful, well-shaped flame rising up towards the dazzling disk and tapering it into no space. Just that, because of the yearning of our heart, which has opened itself, its bare bosom, to take in the grace and compassion and love from the dome of eternity shining above. The grace of the Lord has descended and settled itself in the center of the lotus of our heart, in the form of a wonderful, well-shaped flame. It is the Lord's grace and compassion made visible in concrete form. Just that picture. The ocean of existence shining below. The thin stem of the lotus rising above, balancing the wonderful lotus flower, which has bloomed itself into its fullness, holding its within, open and naked, to receive the grace of the sun above. And the grace from above has descended on it and settled itself in the heart of the lotus in the form of an golden orange flame. A perfect state of equilibrium in the fullness of silence, purity, and power. Let us try to hold on to this picture, to this experience, for a few moments. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace.